Yeah. There we go. Hello, everybody. I am Mr. 901, Tommy Jacks, owner of 901 Wrestling. Tonight, we've got some special things on the countdown to Battle at Black Lodge 2 that's happening tomorrow night live right here in Memphis, Tennessee. We've got an exclusive sit-down interview with the 901 Wrestling Champion, Andy Mack. That's right, we do. We've got an exclusive sit-down interview, getting his thoughts about all things Battle at Black Lodge 2, all things Contar, all things 901 Wrestling Championship, and a little bit of Memphis wrestling history. That's right, we're talking about the countdown to Battle at Black Lodge 2, your big main event, Contar versus 901 Wrestling Champion, Andy Mack. That's right, happening tomorrow. And let's get you caught up real quick with what happened at the last Battle at Black Lodge. Let's take a look. there you have it. Battle at Black Lodge 1, an epic tournament set up, apparently, all to meet the ends that we saw for Kantar, setting itself up in a championship match. The championship match that is happening tomorrow night, live at Black Lodge, 405 North Cleveland Street. Get your tickets right now at 901wrestling.com. Ringside is sold out. We still have a few seated left, and then everything else is general admission, and then it's first come, first serve. Pack in as many as you can after that. But that's not the only thing that's going on. Again, we've got the sit-down interview with Andy Mack coming up just a little bit later tonight, but we also have a huge card on top of the epic main event. We've got the first ever 901 Black Lodge Rumble, and it's for the 18-19 championship. That's right. So not only is there a huge main event, Kantar versus 901 champion Andy Mack, but we're crowning a new 18-19 champion the same night. And let's take a look real quick at some of the participants of this Rumble.
Got a chance for someone new to walk out as the 18-19 championship. It's going to be done in a battle royal format, but not just any battle royal format, a Rumble format. The Black Lodge Rumble will feature two wrestlers starting the match. Very similar rules that you would see for a Rumble style match. Two wrestlers will start. Once the bell rings every 2 minutes, another wrestler will enter. Once that wrestler is in the ring, the 2-minute timer will start again. And of course, the only way to be eliminated is to be thrown over the top rope, and both feet must hit the floor. The last man standing will be the new 18-19 champion. First time we have had a Rumble style matchup. The Black Lodge Rumble will decide the new 18-19 champion. And before we start running through who's in that, we'll be rejoined now by the owner of 901 Wrestling, Tommy Jacks. Tommy, welcome back. You missed us.
Welcome. This is what it's all about, Kevin. This right here, the 18-19 championship that is currently vacant. You see it live and in living color. That's what it's all about. The 18-19 championship for the first ever Black Lodge Rumble. Somebody's walking away with that September 3rd.
The fans tuning in will recognize many of the names, but I know we have a couple of wrestlers that will be debuting in the Rumble as well. So let's go ahead and see who will have a shot at the 18-19 championship this coming Friday in the Black Lodge Rumble. Up first, here we have the return of the Dragon.
That's right, the Filipino Dragon, Kylan James, a fan favorite whenever he steps into the ring.
Definitely not only a fan favorite, but a possible favorite here so far. So far, I'm liking what we've got. Let's see who is next. Also entering in the 18-19 Black Lodge Rumble, we have Gio Savage. You want to talk about another favorite of the fans?
Oh, a huge fan favorite. In fact, he's, his moniker is your favorite wrestler.
All right, Gio Savage on the list of participants. Josh Matthews back as well. How about that? Josh Matthews making his return to 901 Wrestling. So far, all three announcements of the participants, all three making their big returns.
Yeah, Josh Matthews, this one's a little bittersweet for me. Believe it or not, a lot of people do not know this, but my first ever client as a manager in wrestling was Josh Matthews. He was part of a just phenomenal tag team, even though we weren't seeing eye to eye at the time, called the Dream Street Express, along with Kevin Bless, another local Memphis favorite. And that didn't work out for him too well. And one thing led to another. We saw him abducted by the Storm, and he has been a Storm member ever since. So
yeah, we talked about a former big-time fan favorite with the Dream Street Express, but he has been under the influence of the Storm, since I mean, well, at least he was the last time we saw him. The question is, there's lots of questions surrounding the Storm right now, which will make not only Josh Matthews' appearance here in the Rumble very interesting, because not only is he in the Rumble, but so is Prince Adonis. Prince Adonis, coming fresh off of a first-round loss in the tournament to crown the new 901 wrestling champion at Black Lodge. Prince Adonis losing to his Storm member Night Train in the first round of that. Prince Adonis will have a shot. He is still one of the best young stars. He has a chance here to rebound and bounce back from that loss. But the question is, you got Josh Matthews, who's a member of the Storm, in this Rumble as well. Will they coexist? Will the Storm be forced into a situation where they will need to coexist? Because this is every man for himself. And
correct.
And we saw back at Black Lodge before, we saw the Prince Adonis and Night Train. It seemed like they were able to go head to head and remain for it. I tried talking with them after the match. I wasn't able to do that, but it seemed like they were able to compete with each other without completely breaking up what has been
and then later in that main event, Adonis ran out to help Night Train. So, a lot of questions. You're right. I mean, I think a lot of people have questions about the Storm.
It is very, very interesting, because up next on our announcement is Night Train. So here we go. 3 members of the Storm in this Rumble. Night Train coming off the biggest win in his career, defeating Prince Adonis in the 901 Wrestling Championship Tournament, qualifying for that Fatal 4-Way main event. And now he's going to be put into a Rumble situation, another shot at a title, the 18-19 championship. But you also have Prince Adonis, his Storm member, and Josh Matthews, who we have not seen since the pandemic. All here in the ring together. Will they be in the ring together? It is a Rumble. They may not be, because they're entering at different times throughout.
Yeah, so let's look at the draw.
Another opportunity.
Look at the draw.
On a lot of people's list, by the way, is Night Train. Who is going to be next? Shane Shoffner. Shane Shoffner also an impressive performance in the 901 Wrestling Championship Tournament, advancing to the main event. Was so close as well as becoming the new 901 Wrestling Champion.
I mean, it was right there at the end. It was between him and Andy Mack. So, and some people have said that could have went possibly either way.
Yes, the 18-19 championship, a fairly new title in 901 Wrestling history, and there will be a brand new champion crown on Friday in this Black Lodge Rumble. So we've gone through some of your favorites, and as we're about to announce some wrestlers that will be debuting in the Rumble. So the Black Lodge Rumble will have some debut. So Tommy, I'm going to throw it to you as we go through these names, because I need the background that as the owner here. You have taken at a point to bring in some new talent.
Yeah, that's something that's super important to me. I want to cultivate young Memphis and surrounding area talent, something that hasn't been done in years past in this area. A lot of times the younger guys kind of get thrown to the wayside, but the amount of potential that is out there in and around this area is astronomical. And just the tip of the iceberg is a few of these individuals that are debuting in this Rumble.
MJ Davis will be making his debut. What do we know about MJ Davis?
I actually got some film sent to me by an old colleague of mine, and I was blown away. This guy right here is an absolute beast. Everything that I've seen on MJ Davis, he has went in and pummeled people.
All right, we've got MJ Davis debuting, also debuting the Gunslinger, Cody James.
Cody James, an interesting cat is the way that I would put it, best. He's got an aura about him when he enters the building, and it transfers to the ring. A very, very capable wrestler. And a very unique personality making his debut in this Rumble.
A handful of wrestlers will have the opportunity in their debut at 901 Wrestling to win a championship. And some people may be thinking, well, that's bananas. But if you were at the last show and you saw Bobby Ford in his effort, Tommy, I've got to give you kudos here of your scouting, and you are finding some of the best up and coming wrestlers here around, and this could be one of them as well. Denzel Rollins will make his debut in the Rumble.
I'm gonna tell you right now, whenever I see Denzel Rollins, I get goosebumps. Okay. He's a scary individual, okay? And I'm not talking about, scary like, spooky. I'm talking about this guy is brutal.
Yeah, so Denzel Rollins will make his 901 Wrestling debut. Also debuting, Brandon Young.
Brandon Young seems to be a fan favorite wherever he goes. I actually got to watch some film. I have not got to talk to Brandon except over the phone. I haven't got to talk to him in person. Haven't got to see him in person, but I have done a lot of scouting on Brandon Young, and everywhere he goes, it just seems like people get behind him. And it's not just that. Once he gets in the ring, he can go too. So everything that I've seen on Brandon Young, and I've had conversations with the gentleman, and I think he's going to be a great fit at 901 Wrestling, and I saw an opportunity to bring him aboard with this Rumble, so that's what we're doing.
So we've gone through some of your favorites and stars who will be in this Rumble, and we're not, as far as I know, Tommy, we're not announcing everybody today, right?
No,
we're announcing.
No, I mean, the thing about it is,
participants.
Yeah, we're trying to give you a good idea of some of the folks that you're going to see in this Rumble, but would it be a Rumble if there weren't a couple of surprises, Kevin?
Remember, you can get your tickets now for the battle at Black Lodge at 901wrestling.com.
There you go. The Black Lodge Rumble, the first ever Rumble style match right here in Memphis, Tennessee. That's right. Right here at Black Lodge, 409 North Cleveland. Super easy to get to. If you're even pondering that you might want to go, get your tickets now because they are going fast. We still have the exclusive sit-down interview with one Andy Mack coming up, but I told you that it wasn't just the big main event of Contar versus Andy Mack. I told you that we had this big Black Lodge Rumble. But we've got more. We've got a ton more. We've also got a match that a lot of fans have been clamoring for. And I'm talking about the newcomer, Bobby Ford, versus the baddest man alive, Dustin Anthony, with Hunter Havoc in his corner. Now, just the other day, when we did the preview to the Rumble, Kevin Cerrito and myself, Kevin Cerrito had a chance to be joined live with Dustin Anthony, and let's take a look at what Dustin had to say about tomorrow night's match versus Bobby Ford.
This matchup in particular, I know the fans are super, super excited about. Joining me live right now is the one and the only Dustin Anthony. Dustin Anthony, half of this matchup, Dustin Anthony is going to join me live right now. Dustin, is that you? Yes, it is. Look at this. It's the baddest man alive.
Can you hear me now, Kevin? Can you hear what I'm... Because you seem to want to play with my audio every time I come on here. So I hope you can hear me just fine.
I can hear you perfect. How are you doing, Dustin?
I'm not very happy right now, Kevin. Okay, I wake up yesterday afternoon thinking, okay, they're going to announce me as the new 18-19 champion. Okay, I wrongfully lost the thing. Okay, they should give me the belt. They should put my face on it, and they should just give it to me. But no, I wake up and I find out I got to get in the ring with this rookie, Bobby Ford. Are you kidding me? Who came up with this? Like, I don't have time for this, man. I really don't. I'm the baddest man alive. I deserve better than this. Okay? Kevin, you got to agree. I deserve better than this. This is insane. This kid is a rookie. He doesn't belong in the ring.
I was not expecting you to call. It's been a minute. There's been a couple of 18-19 champions since you've held the title, and technically you've never been 18-19 champion. You were, you were the last.
Yeah, no thanks to you, man. Okay, don't ruin this like you ruined my birthday. You know I'm telling the truth. Okay.
All right, Dustin. We're happy you were able to join us. We had technical difficulties on the last stream, so I did invite you here when we were previewing Battle of Black Lodge 1. You were unable to. We weren't able to hear you due to technical problems. So I was nice and wanted to invite you back here. But what do you think about this rookie Bobby Ford? You saw him in action.
I saw him in action. Yeah, you're right. I did see him in action. And, if we're being completely honest here, yeah, I did kind of interfere in this thing. But I did him a favor, okay? I did something good for him. Look, the King of Memphis was going to flatten that kid, okay? He was going to kill him right there. Kevin, you were there. You saw the whole thing. This kid was getting smashed, okay? So I went up there and, I kind of saved his life. He should be thanking me. Okay, what do you want to fight me for? I'm the baddest man alive, man. I'm a 2-time light heavyweight champion. Okay, I'm a self-defense expert. I am an undefeated mixed martial artist, Kevin. I'm a front page commercial appeal athlete. I'm a fashion mogul. I'm a real estate mogul. Kevin, and I'm the baddest man alive. This kid, no. It's not. I'm going to smash this kid. I'm going to do the best thing you can do for him. I'm going to end his career right now. It's going to be his last night at 901 Wrestling. Okay.
Well, we will see September 3rd, this coming Friday. Dustin, I'll be watching very closely because, I was very impressed. I saw that match a little bit differently than you did and how Bobby Ford performed at his very first
you
match.
You seem like the guy that would be impressed with somebody like Bobby Ford. It's because of people like you that Kantar was able to ruin people's lives. And we got so much shenanigans going on here at 901 because of people like you, Kevin Cerrito. You ruined my birthday, okay? You've done nothing but cause trouble the whole time you've been here. You screw up my audio every time I'm on this thing. I hope that people can hear me. I hope they can hear that this is going to be Bobby Ford's last night at 901 Wrestling, okay? So come and see it. Come watch this kid get smashed, all right, and never be heard from again because myself and the King of the Memphis, we're going to smash him. It's over with. He's going to get a rude welcome to 901, courtesy of the 901's baddest.
All right. Well, thank you, Dustin Anthony. Get him out of here. I've had enough. If you needed any more reason to buy a ticket, Dustin Anthony is saying it's your last time to see Bobby Ford. The first time was great. If this is, in fact, Bobby Ford's last match, I think we're going to see Bobby Ford for a long time around this territory.
There you go. Not only a huge main event, not only a Rumble, but also Bobby Ford versus Dustin Anthony. And guess what? That's not all. Definitely, everybody is keeping a close eye on the Merc. That's right. The Merc, Chris Evans, making his debut for this Friday, tomorrow night at Black Lodge for 901 Wrestling. I don't know what this new manager, Billy Robinson, has in mind or not, but like I said, you do not want to miss it. Now, I promised you folks a special sit-down exclusive interview with Andy Mack, and that's absolutely what we have. So a few days ago, a film crew sat down with Andy Mack and, well, let's watch it. And you can see for yourself.
History of Memphis wrestling is incredible, and it is well known, and it's very famous. However, the story of Memphis wrestling for the last 10 to 15 years is a little bit different. It's pretty simple. Young talent tries to break into Memphis in wrestling. Young talent starts competing in Memphis wrestling. Young talent can't compete in Memphis wrestling because young talent sees guy in charge of promotion holding championship at the end of the night every single time. And that was the story. That's how it went. When I broke into professional wrestling, that was how it went. And I got to be honest, it's pretty much the exact opposite of motivating. Then a few years ago, 901 Wrestling popped up. And at 901 Wrestling, that story is different. Because it wasn't built on somebody who was in charge wanting to be the champion. And it wasn't built on, oh, let me pat myself on the back for all that I did accomplish, or at least convince myself that I accomplished. 901 Wrestling was a place where young talent could show up, could show out, could compete, and could climb. And I noticed that. And that's exactly what I did. I climbed. And I was given the opportunity. No, I earned the opportunity. But the opportunity was there for me to become a 901 Wrestling champion. To be the champion of a promotion in this city without being some 35-year-old has-been. So that's where the story was different. And you know what? I did that. And I beat Kantar to do it. Why don't you ask the owner of the company, Tommy Jacks, how we got together? Man, like 4 years ago, I was a young talent at the company that would eventually become 901 Wrestling. And I just won the light heavyweight championship, and I get approached by this. What are you trying to get out here, Jax? What do you want?
Look, what do you want? Hey, champ. You like the sound of that, don't you, champ?
Kind of slimy guy who says he can make me a lot of money if I agree to let him be my manager, and that was Tommy Jacks. And I did it. I signed up, and it was pretty lucrative for a while. And he ended up recruiting into wrestling, bringing in this big, huge, 6'10", 300-pound dude. Kantar the Great. Originally brought in as Tommy's bodyguard while I was with Tommy Jacks. Me and Kantar actually kind of hit it off. We got along really good. We actually found a lot of common interest in music and had a lot of things in common, and we ended up kind of starting to run as a little bit of a tag team. So he started to have a few more matches, and eventually we kind of got to talking, decided we'd go ahead and get rid of Tommy. And so I had Kantar chokeslam him. I don't know that we ever actually lost a match just as a tag team, right? Yeah, that's right. That's actually what I was about to get at. We eventually climbed the ranks enough, and we got a tag team title shot, and we won. And we were tag champs. We were a good tag team, man. A lot of times people like to say that styles make teams, and we had a very, very different style from each other that managed to complement each other really well. And it led us to a lot of success. In fact, those tag team championships, we actually never lost those. And we held those titles for so long, they eventually just kind of dissolved those titles because there was no more tag teams for us to beat. So those tag titles went away, and actually, up until recently, that was actually kind of a little running inside joke with Kantar and me. He'd say, we're still tag champs, never lost tag belts. He'd come at me and say, it's been 873 days, we haven't lost the tag belts, which was always really funny until recently when it became not so funny. Kantar was he won the King of the South tournament, which would eventually become the 901 Classic. And what that meant was he got a title shot against Chris Ward. I was feuding with Chris's brother Shane over the now defunct light heavyweight championship. And that title became the 18-19 title, actually. Chris got involved in it and Tommy got involved in it. And they hurt my shoulder. They injured my shoulder. But I kind of didn't let out what the actual injury was. I made it out to be a little more severe than it was. I kind of showed up in a sling and was just talking to fans, acting like I wasn't. But I'll get to that. Kantar had this title match with Chris Ward, and it was huge. The turnout was just phenomenal. And the atmosphere was electric. And Kantar was beating him down bad. And eventually what happens is Kantar finds himself on the defensive because Tommy Jacks had come out there and Shane Shoffner had come out there, and they were trying to pull off what they like to pull off. They were trying to cheat. They were trying to keep Kantar from winning the belt because they knew that was the only way that they were going to be able to do it. And so I came in and I hit the ring right as Shane was wielding his famous pan.
Andy Mack got him. They broke his arm. He's been out of action. Oh, wait a minute. Arm just won. He's gonna bring it.
Kantar managed to rah-rah and managed to get back on his feet and power slam Chris Ward. And he won the title. I mean, it was huge, big explosion, crowd went nuts. I was the first person there because I was already out there, we hugged it. He's holding the belt up. It was just an insanely wonderful night. It was awesome. It was a great experience for both of us. The very next show, I went through with something that I had been planning for a long time, but I will be honest with you, in that moment, when I was standing on the other side of Kantar, and he was holding the championship up, and I was holding his other hand up. If you look at my face, that was actually a genuine moment of happiness for me, and I realized that I'd actually kind of become close with this friend. So I almost didn't go through with this plan, but as we all know, I did go through with this plan. Ran off with the belt, and that led to the first championship match between Kantar and myself at the Rail Garden. Actually, I lost our first match in front of a sold-out crowd at the Rail Garden. It was a humongous show. I believe it was September of that year. It was hot. They played a video package. I wore a Renegade shirt, which is a group that we were a part of at the time, out to the ring and ripped it off, tried to play a little mind games with him, and thought I had a good enough game plan to go in there and just out-wrestle him, and I didn't. I ended up catching that same power slam that Chris Ward caught.
Power slam! 1, 2, 3, that's it!
And 1, 2, 3, that was the end of my night. I had a different game plan this time, and look, in wrestling sometimes you have to do what you have to do. I knew what I knew about Kantar. We go back a long way. My game plan was to target his knee. I know that he's got a bad knee. We've talked about it several times. I've seen the ice packs. I've seen the surgical scars. I know he's got a bad knee. So I went after it, man, and I went after it hard. I mean, I had him in, everything from Boston crabs to knee bars to just stomping him out. And I worked that knee over as hard as I could, man. That was my game plan that night. He grabbed me by the throat, and
The leg gave way. Oh, the kick right to it.
When he went to lift me, his knee gave out. And I kicked him in the jaw.
Oh, another super hit.
And I pinned him. Won the 901 Wrestling Championship. And put Contar out of wrestling. I get an email like 2 days before a big show saying that I've got a title defense on the show, and it doesn't say who I'm wrestling, right? I was very upset. I was a very ill-tempered young man in those days. I know that's hard to imagine. But I was upset about it. I went to the ring. I grabbed the microphone. I was ranting and raving and yelling.
I don't know who this new commissioner thinks he or she is, but I want them out here right now.
Contar's music hit. Out comes Contar, and he says he's the new commissioner, and he puts me in the title match and proceeds to put me in several title matches. Yeah, it actually did. It did look like we had buried the hatchet at a point. Contar was doing a good job, and I didn't really want to buy into it. Especially at first, there was no way I was going to buy into it. But over time, you couldn't help but notice that he was making fair choices. He was making fair decisions to talent. He was, doing right by the talent and by the fans. Everybody seemed to love him. He seemed to be, doing the right thing. He was putting cool tournaments out there. I don't know how many, different title shots I got after losing the title, but it was more than a lot of people would have given a guy. But he was being fair and balanced and making all the right choices, and 901 was growing. And yeah, I did think he was doing a really good job. He actually made this tournament that offered me the chance to go out there and become a 3-time 901 wrestling champion, and I don't think there's a fan you could talk to that didn't think he was doing a good job. And I guess he kind of took all of us for a ride. In the past, when me and Contar fought, it's always been about the 901 Wrestling Championship. This time, Contar made it personal. I'm going to be staring down a man who's fighting for a championship and fighting for himself. Contar is going to be staring down a man who's fighting for all of 901 Wrestling's battle at Black Lodge 2. Contar, I hope you're ready, because I'm coming to kick your head off.
There you have it. The exclusive sit-down interview with your 901 Wrestling Champion, the star of the show, Andy Mack. His thoughts on the matchup, the biggest main event in Memphis wrestling in the past 15 years, is going to be right at Black Lodge, 405 North Cleveland. Contar versus Andy Mack. The first ever Black Lodge Rumble. The debut of the Mert Chris Evans. And newcomer Bobby Ford faces the baddest man alive, Dustin Anthony. All of that, one action-packed evening, one heck of a way to kick off your holiday weekend. Tickets are becoming scarce right at 901wrestling.com. Make sure to tell somebody if you happen to even think you might want to go, grab up some tickets and go, and we will see you guys tomorrow night at Black Lodge for Battle at Black Lodge 2.